Hey y'all, RoamTownGirl here, and today I'm gonna start my journey towards the Grand Canyon. But before we get there, I went to my favorite website, RoadsideAmerica.com, to look for anything interesting to stop and see along the way. And wouldn't you know, there's a ton of stuff. Since I'm starting in Show Low, it was totally fun to find out that there was actually, our first stop is here. Now, I like coming to Show Low in the summertime. It tends to keep cooler temperatures because it's really high. And back in 2020, this is where I hunkered down for that first COVID summer. So behind me is the Show Low Monument, and it depicts how Show Low got its name and some of its streets. So these two guys are Cooley and Clark. They were ranchers who were neighbors, who were encroaching on each other, and they could not figure out a way out of this situation. Nobody wanted to buy out the other. So for some reason they thought, hey, let's settle the dispute with a card game. So they were playing something called 7-Up, where the winner is whoever draws the lowest card. That's Clark. And he drew a 3. So he was looking really good. And he says, show low and you win the ranch, right? Because whoever shows the lowest. But he thinks he's got it in the bag. Want to know what happened next? That's Cooley. And can you believe, of all the cards to draw, he drew the 2 of clubs. So guess who won the ranch? And then, I guess to forever memorialize this moment in time, Cooley changed the name of his ranch to Show Low. And that's how Show Low got its name. Show Low's got like 2 main drags. This one in front of me is called the Deuce of Clubs. Continuing on our path towards the Grand Canyon, here we are in Snowflake, and this adorable cabin behind me doesn't seem like much, but it has quite the story behind it. So this place is called the Andrew Lockey Rogers Log Home, and it is a really good example of the way they used to do the buildings back in the 19th century. And of course, this was like a really popular type of structure, especially here in northern Arizona. And that's because they had lots of lumber available to them. And these were also really easy and quick to build. Pretty much, it could take 1 or 2 men just a single day to build one of these one-room cabin structures. Not open. I see a broken out window. Not good for the cabin, but good for the camera. So they think this one was built in 1878. So one of its features, we're gonna have to Google these, is that it has hand-hewn log walls and half dovetailed notching with flush corners. I feel like I'm speaking a foreign language. So originally, I guess this cabin only had 1 door, but the structure was later incorporated into a 2-story framed house, so other doors were added. That's part of the mystique behind this particular cabin. What's kind of strange is the plaques on this cabin don't tell me the same story that I found at RoadsideAmerica.com. I like that story better, so I'm going to tell it to you. So according to Roadside America, they think this cabin was built in 1878. And as the family that owned it grew, they started adding on to it, and it eventually got drywalled on the sides and doors were added, and it turned into a 2-story house. And for generations, that's how this thing was. So as time goes by, now the great grandkids are living in this property. They have no awareness of the history of the building, and in 1989 there is this horrible fire and the house burns down. And when they come to do the salvaging, they're taking everything away, and they notice that there are some logs, and so they start kind of excavating them, so to speak, and lo and behold, they discovered that buried within this 2-story house is this guy, this wonderful cabin. And I guess because of the way he had been drywalled and such, he survived the fire. You got to admit, that's a pretty cool story. And now we're in Holbrook, Arizona. And Holbrook has so many places to go see that I found on RoadsideAmerica.com. Starting with Jim Gray's Petrified Forest gift shop. The main thing I wanted to see here was Wild Bill. That's their 2 million and something year old alligator. Isn't he just amazing? I love him. I'm so glad we stopped to see him. Okay, so this is a little snippet on what exactly petrified wood is. I didn't actually know what petrified wood was. Did you? This was formed 50 to 200 million years ago. It was made up of trees that were buried in mud, sand, or volcanic ash. So what happens is all that stuff turns the wood to stone. The water provided silica for petrification, and it contains a lot of other minerals, and that's what makes all these colors. I hope you're paying attention. There will be a quiz after this. Just kidding. So iron's probably the mineral that was the most incorporated, and that makes all the reds and the yellows and the browns. Copper was also there, and that makes the blues and the greens. Magnesium and carbon, they make the black and the white and the gray. So everything we're looking at, you can tell by the colors what the contents of the water that saturated it for all those years did. I did not know that. Okay, so now I get what the whole deal is with all the dinosaurs. Because the petrified wood was made about the time of the dinosaurs. And I even bought a little piece of wood to take home with me. On to the next. So now we're at the Butterfield Stage Company Steakhouse, and they're supposed to have the world's longest map of Route 66. I don't see it, so we're gonna have to hunt around some. I don't think it exists anymore. I see this wall kind of breaks off. Maybe that's where it used to be. But all's not lost, because the next stop is just a few steps away, and that's the Wigwam Motel. I found it! I found it! It was across the street from the Butterfield Stage Company. Let's go check it out. Okay, you ready? We're starting in California. We got Los Angeles, Barstow, Needles. I drove through there once when it was super duper hot. Here's where we are, in Holbrook, Arizona. And here's places we've been in the past. I've been to Gallup, Albuquerque. I don't think I've been to Vega. Haven't been to Amarillo. Should we go further? Let's go further. Oklahoma City, we were there. Tulsa, I don't know Baxter Springs. Joplin, Springfield. I've been to St. Louis, pre-RV, like a regular person, you know, fly on a plane, rent a car kind of thing. I like St. Louis a lot. Springfield, Joliet, and Chicago. So those are all places we will go on road trips in the future. I might have bitten off more than I can chew for one day. We're still in Holbrook, and now we're at the Wigwam Motel. And it is known for its crazy teepee rooms that you can stay in. So I wanted to stop and show them to you. The lady that works here is so nice. I got the keys. All right, we're like, oh, 14, right here. I asked if I could show you one of these that's all made up, all nice. So let's go check it out. Ready? So they got a computer and a little sitting area. Then the bathroom. Kind of kicky. Oh look, more petrified wood. We know all about that now.
one of the things that made me really want to come here is that I discovered an RV park in California, kind of up by Yosemite, kind of by the 395. In addition to being an RV park, they had teepees you could stay in, but they were like real teepees. In fact, I'm gonna go find that footage and include it in this video so you can see that as well. Still have 3 places to go see in Winslow. Okay, I gotta psych myself up for those. And now we have entered Winslow. First stop is the 9/11 Remembrance Garden. I thought it was very interesting. Those 2 pillars are actually beams that came from the World Trade Center building. Well, I made it to standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona, and there's a heck of a lot of other people here too, so it's just gonna have to be a quick one. Hey guys, I'm sure you noticed the wardrobe change. When I finished my day yesterday, I was so pooped, I forgot to shoot the outro. So I'm cheating and doing it right now. So I ended my day here at the Media Crater RV Park, which is wonderfully located just 5 miles down the road from the actual Media Crater. And that's where we're gonna go next. See you next time.